most Australian, or at least Australian punters are kind of connected to the rugby style kicking. Don't think that's something that you have done here. Is that something you trained when you were in high school, or is it something you just are not, you don't do?
No, that skill, I guess the traditional punting, as we call it, is something we learn in pro kick. That's what we actually learn to do and convert to when joining the program. The rugby skill is that's the one we acquire from playing Australian rules football. So when we join the program, they teach us, they try and throw all those habits out and teach us how to punt traditionally, but it's an acquired skill that we've been kind of doing for 15 years, so you can always pull it out. So when you get here, it depends on the team you play for. So some guys, Jackson Ross at Tennessee is doing kind of both. He can roll and kick a traditional style punt or a kind of end over end, as we call it, like a drop punt, and mix it, or someone like Flynn at Appleby who kicks pretty much all end over end. So it depends on the team you go to, and that also goes into the recruiting of when they go to pro kick. The side says, what do you have that fits this type of punter, and then they put their best guys up. So.
Brett, you've been in America for about 2 years now. The mullet, was that just something that you decided to go with, or you've been hanging out with Tate Ratliff too much?
Yeah, maybe hanging out with Tate a bit too much, but it probably come on, a few weeks ago now. I had like a tiny little half one with the haircut, and I usually try and mix it up, but it was something I had back in COVID when we had to cut our own hair because we couldn't go to barbers in Australia. So I drove down to Target randomly and brought a pair of clippers and do it myself now. So it's a lot easier. I can't really see the back, so I figure I'll just do the sides and deal with whatever comes at the back.
Brett, where do you feel like you have come the most in your time at Georgia? Where do you feel like you have improved the most since you've gotten here?
I think just feeling comfortable in, obviously when we come over here, I'd never been behind a line of scrimmage with protectors. We replicate it in pro kick, but you can't replicate 6'5", like 300-pound O-linemen protecting and moving, and then also guys like sprinting full speed at you. So I'd say just getting comfortable behind there and knowing how to make myself feel comfortable. So that involves not necessarily just trying to kick a good ball. It also involves like the placement, what I need to do to get that ball where it needs to go. So yeah, pretty much like a lot of things, I guess, but that I'd say just getting used to being behind a protection.
Hey Brett, I was wondering if you could talk about your recruitment a little bit with Pro Kick, who's your first point of contact, University of Georgia, how's it coming over, this, that, the other?
Yeah, no, when you join the program, you kind of commit to just going to America. You have no idea where you're going to go. So I joined the program just hoping to come to America on a scholarship, and I trained for roughly about 6 to 8 months. I was a bit broken up with COVID until Coach Hartley got in contact with the Pro Kick coaches, and then they linked us together. So I talked to him about once a week. We talked for roughly about a month and a half, and then they said, yeah, the spot's yours. So I then kept training until it was time to come here in January 2022, and kept talking to Coach Hartley and building that relationship. But it was mainly him that I talked to, and then a little bit with Coach Smart here and there. But Coach Hartley was the main coach.
Yeah, Brett, I wanted to ask you about Peyton Woodring. How have you seen him handle, you missed a couple kicks earlier in the year, and you made those two big ones at Auburn. How has he handled the adversity, especially being a freshman in his first year in the program too?
Yeah, good. Obviously, you saw on the weekend he come up clutch for us and made a few big field goals. So we never doubted it. Like the adversity, we've seen what he can do in practice each day that he come in here since fall, and we know like what he's capable of. So watching him just go about it, he went about his business as professional as he could, and knows like the job at hand to do. So locked back in and fought did what he can do, at what we all know he can do. So it was good.
I'm curious about kind of your off-the-field adjustments. Kirby was talking about you first got here and everybody left town and you kind of felt bad for you. And then how have you acclimated kind of just to life in the United States and in Athens, Georgia?
Yeah, I guess that was a slow process. I think mainly finding like my friends, like the close friends, that's a big thing. Feeling that sense of, I guess, home, come from the friends that I now consider my closest friends. Finding food places that I like, I found that very helpful. Obviously the American food is a bit different, so that took a lot of adjusting, and finding those spots now I just go to get like good coffee, get a good meal or something that I feel like helps me to feel at home. So those, I guess, couple things were probably the biggest, and then getting back into school as well, just getting involved. But you keep pretty busy here, obviously, with the football schedule, so you don't have too much time to get out and explore. But yeah.
2 questions here. One, what are some of those restaurants that you've kind of found to be your home, away from home? And I would imagine a couple of your teammates have tried an Australian accent with you. Does anybody have a particularly good one?
First question, there's no, I guess it depends on what food I want. I know ZZ and Simone's is probably the go-to if someone comes to town and I want to eat some good food and show them a good place. Obviously Chuck's also. Big City Bread Cafe is another one, and then a Thousand Faces for coffee is the go-to also. So they're probably the main ones, but we mix it up a heap, just wherever the kind of vibe is for the food. And then, unfortunately, no, the accents, there's been not a single good one. I've heard some really bad ones, but they just keep getting worse the more you go. I couldn't say the best, but Brock Bowers would definitely have the worst. That one would be without a doubt.
I know a guy we don't really see on the field too much, but Noah Jones. I know he was here a year before you. How was having him kind of in that punter room really beneficial for you from both an adjustment perspective and also just kind of getting used to being in Georgia?
Yeah, it was awesome for me because I guess competition brings out hopefully the best in people. So to come in and have him, who's not only a great person but a great punter. So as a mate, he's awesome, just chatting to off the field and stuff and helping me get around. And when I first got here, asking him all the questions, and then on the field also having to ask him about certain punt systems, what we do, how he does it, stuff like that. He was awesome in helping me with that. So it also he's a really good punter as well. So that helps when I get out there and I know I need to be at the top of my game to hopefully match it and keep the standard there. So.
What do you think of having another night game this season? Georgia didn't have this, I guess, last year.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I think it's cool because I think all the students love it. As for us, we're obviously got to wait around a fair bit during the day and kind of you just want to play. I guess when it gets to the Saturday, you're just ready to play. You're kind of amped up. So I feel I've got good at being patient. Obviously, we kind of sit on the sidelines a fair bit during the game, so I try and carry that patience to before the game. Also, try and distract myself, not think about football as much as I can. That's usually my routine. So I watch movies and stuff and keep the TV off with football or stuff. It's just that's all. So.
Yes, I'm sorry for this stupid question, but have you tried Outback, and does it have any Australian flavor to it that's authentic in your opinion?
Yeah, no, we've had it catered to the facility. I haven't actually gone and sat down, so I know I need to do it. I know I've had a bunch of people that have offered to take me, but I haven't done it yet. So I can't speak firsthand from the restaurant, but when it's been catered, it has been good. I don't know whether or not it's Australian. There's mac and cheese, which is something I don't think I really ever had before coming here. So it definitely, there are a few differences that I think they obviously made to cater to the American crowd, but yeah, it's just funny because that's what everyone references when they reference Australian food, like Outback or whoever calls me Outback. It goes with that.
They call you Outback.
A few people. I've got a lot, they come up with a lot of different nicknames, so that's one of them. Coach Sinclair is the main advocate for calling me Outback, so yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Brett, I watch you during warm-ups. It seems like you really enjoy throwing the football, and you're pretty good at it. It seems like you throw 50, 55 yards. A, have you ever asked about a fake punt, potentially? B, what does William Moat say to you afterwards? Because it looks like his arm's pretty sore when you guys are done.
Yeah, no, that's our little routine. We go out there before we have to go back in and put the pads on. Moat and I throw it to each other. I look at that more as just to kind of get just blood flowing and get up and about. Obviously, we don't throw in punt, so it's something that you just get out on a football field, throw the ball around, run around, enjoy the kind of atmosphere that's starting. But no, we usually joke. He usually likes to give me a hard time if I miss him or make him run or throw one over his head. So it's usually a bit of banter. But yeah, something that come through, I guess, from a cricket background. Like, obviously you throw the ball in cricket, which is kind of like baseball, and lucky enough it translated. But yeah, I got to keep running past Coach Smart, trying to throw a ball kind of in his little eye line and like warming up the shoulder in front of him at practice or something, just to try and nudge him in the right direction. But I just got to, hopefully be patient and wait, and hopefully one day he wants to let me kind of sling one. So we'll wait and see.
Let's take 2 more questions.
Yeah, continuing on William Moat, you guys been together for the past 2 years now. I mean, what is your relationship and like that long snapper to punter connection on and off the field?
Yeah, really good, really good. Another guy that kind of showed me the ropes on and off the field, kind of helped out a heap. He great bloke and great snapper as well. So that helps me getting back there and having him kind of put it on my hip each time, and just gives me trust to then go out and punt it. Obviously, if the ball's all over the place, it'd make my job helpless. So to come in here and have him as experienced and as good as he is, that helped me more than anything, just to stand back there and have that element of worry kind of taken out of it. So he, he's obviously a good snapper, as you guys all know, and that helps me hopefully be a good punter.
Stetson Bennett, do you really not like him? Is the rivalry real? Has it cooled at all since obviously he's moved on from the program?
No, the rivalry is still very well there. We anytime we bump into each other now, it goes back and forth. But no, I would like great bloke as well. I get along with him very well. So it's more banter in person, and I guess you guys see a little bit of it on Twitter. There's a lot more in person, but I guess it's because he's a good bloke. I think we have a very similar sense of humour, so it kind of goes both ways. And then that Twitter aspect of it that you guys see hopefully adds a little bit of humour to it. But in person it's a lot more relevant, I guess.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.